Let's talk about why Donald Trump is criminally responsible for the January 6th insurrection. Because holding Donald Trump accountable for a presidential attack on our democracy, like justice, matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So the impeachment is behind us, and now it's time to go from a political hearing that bears no resemblance to a trial to the only place justice can actually be achieved, in a court of law. I'm hearing lots of discussion about whether Donald Trump has criminal liability for inciting the attack on the Capitol. Even Mitch McConnell, who of course punked out of voting guilty, even Mitch McConnell said the following, as quoted from a New York Times article, quote, "There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it." Now, of course, there are two places that Mitch McConnell's words mean nothing: in a court of law and everywhere else. But let's be clear. Donald Trump not only incited the mob, but as the attack was underway, he refused to do anything to stop it. Or maybe it's even a little worse than that. This from the New York Times article. At 2:12 p.m., the same moment that the mob breached the building itself, Mr. Pence, who had defied the president by saying he planned to certify Mr. Biden's victory, was rushed off the Senate floor. A minute later, the Senate session was recessed. 2 minutes after that, at 2:15 p.m., groups of rioters began to chant, "Hang Mike Pence." 9 minutes later, at 2:24 p.m., Trump tweeted a broadside at Mr. Pence for moving ahead to certify Mr. Biden's win. And here's a quote from Donald Trump's tweet. "Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. USA demands the truth," tweeted Donald Trump as the insurrectionists were chanting and hunting for Mike Pence. And think about this, as that angry mob hunted Mike Pence, Donald Trump was spurring them on. He was reinforcing the righteousness of their mission. But Donald Trump's refusal to do or say anything to stop the attack is really criminal icing on the insurrection cake, because there are two facts that convict Donald Trump. First, he told an angry, armed mob to go to the Capitol and stop the vote certification, and they did. They executed his command to the letter. They stopped it violently. And two, criminal intent. I have to tell you, folks, I get tired of people saying it's so hard to prove criminal intent. No, it's not. I spent 30 years proving, or at least trying to prove, criminal intent. in courtrooms, both military and civilian, in courtrooms, both local courts in D.C. and federal courts in D.C. I never once had evidence in a case where a defendant had said prior to committing the crime or during the crime, "Excuse me, I'm intending to commit a crime," just in case somebody wants to use this as evidence in the future. That's not the way it works. The law says you can infer someone's intent from their conduct, their behavior, their words. Donald Trump's intent was corrupt. How do we know that? Because he launched the attack on the U.S. Capitol from a platform of fraud. He whipped that crowd into a violent frenzy by telling them the big lie. The people in that building stole your vote. They stole the election. They took your president from you. Now get down there and stop them. Donald Trump's intent was corrupt from start to finish, and frankly, it will not be hard to prove that in court. So now, it's time to get into the grand jury and build a case against Donald Trump for his crimes on January 6th and all other crimes he's committed over the past 4 years, because justice matters. And as always, folks, thanks for watching these daily videos. If you'd like to more formally support our all-volunteer efforts and our content, you can go over to patreon.com, sign up to become a patron, and if you do, I will send you some Team Justice stickers and a personal handwritten note of thanks. And you can find us across other platforms on Facebook, Justice Matters with Glenn Kirshner, on Twitter, all day and night, trying to answer your legal questions as best I can. On Twitter, it's at Glenn Kirshner 2. And of course, you may have seen that Team Justice has authored and distributed a letter to all 50 state attorneys general and the Attorney General for the District of Columbia. I always have to add that, urging the prosecutorial authorities in all 50 states to please open criminal investigations into the avoidable, the preventable COVID deaths, because Donald Trump, Mike Pence, Jared Kushner, and perhaps others in the Trump administration need to be investigated. And if the evidence supports indictments, they need to be indicted and held accountable. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.